Looks like the computer muted too, and I need to clean off that guy. Probably that guy too. Let's double check here. Yeah, we're good there. All right, howdy folks. My name's Dave. I'm a wood turner. I started turning as therapy for PTSD. It's one of my favorite modes of therapy, actually. Anyway, I love to share comments about that, my thoughts about that. But I started this channel to become a better demonstrator and a better teacher. And the more I work with other turners, from beginners all the way up to more advanced, the more I repeat all the lessons, the more it gets cemented in my own head. So while I'm helping other turners become better, I also become better. The secret sauce is practice. Give yourself, if you're new to turning, give yourself a little bit of break. It doesn't happen overnight. At least not as far as I'm aware. I haven't ever seen anybody just walk up to a lathe and spit out a piece of or turned object that looks fantastic or anything like that. I certainly didn't. But thanks for joining me. It's Wood Turning Wednesday. Hooray. I've got the box that I started last night, 3-corner box. I got these corner bits here. So I tried to get into sanding today, but had other things to take care of. So I figured I'd start early, and I'll do some sanding here. Hopefully I'll be ready to go with it by 8 o'clock when I would normally start. So we'll just keep going. You will hear the compressor in the background, and I'm going the right way, yeah. And I'm going to need to get the glue. I found that I had an issue with this timber. Let's point that down. So I had this split. It opened up a little bit, actually, going from inside to outside to inside. And I had some open up here overnight too. So I'm still having issues with the thermal expansion and contraction, going from really cold to 70 degrees, right? So what I'm going to do, or the plan today, is to get things roughed out and close to shape, because this has already changed shape on me a little bit because of the expansion and contraction. I'm pretty sure it was, I mean, I didn't measure the moisture content in the timber itself, but it was well seasoned. So I'm going to finish sanding this dude. Then I'll be able to sand. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here, but then I'm going to grab the part that I'm using for lid, and I'll sand that so that the corners match up. And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to put my glasses down, and let's see. I had finished. I was working over here. I hadn't finished. So I understand, or at least in the past, these microphones have filtered out most of the noise from the sander and the compressor. Hopefully mine went off. Mine in the past, mostly though, my wood system is all fine. I had some splits here. Actually, I need to get a new piece of I have some splits here that I went ahead and filled in with the sawdust from sanding on it. What I want to try to do, and I had to walk away from this piece, unfortunately. What I wanted to do was try to make sure that the glue stain not super obvious, right? Normally when I do this, I'll sand. I won't hit it with the accelerator, and actually I still haven't, but it's been a couple hours. Let's take off. So the glue stain, I wiped off most of it. I was starting to sand it earlier. Had to step away. Let's see how much of that will get out of there. I may have to, like I say, on this guy here, do something with that. May not. I don't know yet. Let's see. But I thank you for joining me. I'll try to keep up a patter while I'm going. Actually, I could probably wait a second for the compressor to catch up, but I'll do that instead. I think I've got this glue thing down to the ghost of its former glory. So I'm hoping that it won't really. I want to get rid of it because one, finish won't take in that spot that sealed up with glue. Wait for it to catch up now. I should be wearing a mask. Time to change that. Fix this curtain here. You can't see it. It does help block some of the chilly air from the garage door. Still waiting for that dude to catch up, so let's got quite a bit of sanding to do. I think I'm probably just going to leave this as it is. I may actually, let me grab the glue because I'm probably going to hit that bar with CA glue and hopefully seal it to the actual timber permanently. Although there's no guarantee. So set that there. I'm going to set this behind me over there. Excuse me. Oh, the mask. Yes, the mask. Need some breathing protection since I'm bringing up a lot of really fine sawdust there. I'm sorry for the washout. Let's see. Let's do this so you get at least a different perspective of where I'm at. This maple is mighty hard. Really nice to turn. Alright, so hopefully this won't muffle my voice too much. Let's keep going. I'm starting off with 150 grit. doesn't look like I have a little bit of tear out up on this guy. Always try to make sure that my tools are sharp when I'm turning. Sometimes you just can't get away from tear. Let's see, I'm hoping I've got pretty much gotten rid of anything below 150 because I haven't needed it. It's just not used. So I did find some porcelain grit. I think I'll squeeze this part of it up. Insecurity, anyway. So this is kind of like the boring part, I suppose, especially for people who are just walking, kind of like walking grass there, probably. And I thought about just doing this without sound. Just running the video until my normal broadcast time. And I figured I probably wouldn't pay too much attention to the computer in case somebody threw a shot in there. And I missed this as long as I was trying to pay attention to was what time it was. Wait for the compressor to catch up. It's kind of, I mean, it's working, but I haven't struggled with it the whole winter because it's been so cold. It's not wanted to run. I'll run properly. So I do have some great news. I've shared it on this channel before. I am almost, I've been working for over a year to become an affiliate on this channel on Twitch. And I'm almost there. I've got one task to complete, I guess, would be the best way to put it. And that's to get 5 people chatting at the same time. So I am asking for that, and I will continue to ask and try to get, I'm not sure. I'll still check and see how many people are actually in chat, but I suspect it's just me and my moderator bot, and I am right. But anyway, when I get enough people, I really appreciate the help. I've been working, like I said, really hard, really diligently to get all of the I's dotted, the T's crossed. Because because I'm working at an income producing endeavor. That would be one step towards that goal. I definitely appreciate all the support I've gotten so far. Fortunately, this one is an easy one. It's not like some weird, I've gotten get 50 followers. That took the longest, actually. But I imagine that it does for everybody. I now have over 80, which is really cool. Thank you all for following the channel and for tuning in when you can. Just tuning in now, first time perhaps, I do stream every Tuesday and Wednesday night, 8 to 11. Sometimes I'm a little flexible, or that'll be a little flexible with it. Starting early tonight because I've got this sanding to do. And while I tried to separate earlier, instead I had to step away. So this part needs to be done. You can see as I'm sanding, some of it is going into this split here. Really fine stuff. So I think I'm actually going to hit that with the CA glue and seal that in and see. It doesn't go to the inside. None of these just go to the inside, so it's not a huge issue as far as integrity of the piece. I just saw this one here. Trying to rub it in there, pack it in. Okay, now I just set the glue back here. Orange Dan 76 says, "Hey Dave, that's a great inclusion that you have there. Yeah, that piece of bark, will it get filled or is it a diet bowl?" It actually doesn't show up on the inside, so it's not going to be a diet bowl if that comes out. But I think what I'm going to do, Dan, is just hit that with CA glue and try to bond that to the wood. I'm going to wind up taking probably another 1/8 of an inch off the bottom. Not that that's a big deal for this piece, but I think I'm just going to try to save it the way it is. I think I like naturalized stuff. I think it looks cool and it shows people, yes, this is an actual tree. This came from a tree. It's not. And everyone is different. So when I do this kind of thing, when I'm filling small cracks like this, notice I didn't hit it with the accelerant, because what I want to do is I don't want that glue stain on the wood. I don't want it to seal the wood, because any finish I put on there It's just not going to take. And it'll look like a glossy finish. So usually, when I film these, I'll hit it with the glue and then I'll sand everything down and get rid of those stains. And each time that I have to add glue, if I do with a split crack, whatever it is I'm filling, in this case it's a split, needs more, then I can hit it again and everything will be clean. Orange Dan says, is it a small enough inclusion that it won't affect the chuck holding it? Yes. Yeah, I'm actually able to get that in the middle of the jaw, so it connects here and here, and that doesn't touch anything. Right now I've got it reverse chucked on a, I don't know, I guess it's called a rabbit, but I intend to put a tenon on the inside to be able to set the lid down on it. So I've got it reverse chucked, but I'll have to change the jaws again to come back around, because this has changed shape. I wasn't going to do any more turning on it, but I've got to true this up. Actually, not necessarily. I want this to sit a couple of more days inside where it's warm, because I've just had so many issues this winter. It's the first winter I've had these issues that it's crazy. How much issue I've had with thermal changes in the timber going outside to inside. So what I'm trying to do with a lot of these, let me blow that out first. Don't want to hit that with glue and then have all the sawdust show up in there. Sorry, that just sidetracked my brain, and I think I was going to mention that since I'm here, and since I'm already putting CA glue in here, I can hit this. And what I do with bark, and it's really nice too when you can do this with burls and stuff. For one, you don't have to worry about the glue stain so much. But for two, you just let it go until it stops soaking it up, until the CA glue just kind of cools on top. And then you want to saturate it that way. I don't know if you can see those real clearly on the camera now, because there's clips I filmed earlier when I started sanding. There's another one that's in now, coming up. Just a small one, so I'll probably just leave it alone. I definitely want to get this glue stain off of here. Orange Dan says, oh, let me go. Looks like we got to backtrack a little bit. Let's see. Will it get filled, or is it a dipole? Is it small enough inclusion? Okay, I hate when you fill a crack and the CA stains wood right. And yeah, when it stains the wood around it, I really do too. I saw your comment on my burl ball. Yeah, I've gotten it hauled out and need to sand and finish the inside of the bull. Cool. I'm hoping you're going to post that when it's done. Very, very cool, man. It's a really pretty piece of timber you got there. I haven't turned any employer, burl or otherwise. Yeah, these things are evil. You don't take care of it, before the finished process. It's going to show up when you finish. It's going to take so much more work to fix that than it would have been to deal with it before you got that far. okay, it looks like I'm going to have to blow this guy out and then hit it with the seller because, yep, some of the liquid's coming out, not sap. Let me, we'll just hit it. That way, you know, I don't have to spin this, and I'm not going to spin it because I can't sand it. It's not round. It's got 3 corners. Well, that stuff is strong even through this mask. But I may, actually, I'm going to have to when I turn it back around. No, I'm not going to tear that up yet, but if I needed to turn the lathe on, this stuff would just spray out all over the place. I'd rather not do that. Habitus says, howdy all. Hey man, how's it going? How's it going? Good to see you back. So I mentioned this a little earlier. I'll hit it now. I haven't looked at how many folks are in chat right at the moment. But an Habitus, you did help out last time. I really appreciate that. We didn't quite get 5. We had 4. But that's the last thing I got to do for Twitch to become an affiliate, man. I'm like right there. The last step I got to do is got to complete task, whatever it is they call it. Excuse me. Is to get 5 people chatting at once. And I really, really, really appreciate the support and help that I've gotten from my viewers so far. This is just the last little step to becoming an affiliate and starting to turn. You know, I'm working toward that goal of making this income producing endeavor. Yeah, it's my therapy, but I really enjoy doing it, and I know there's market for it. And I guess it would give me an excuse to do it even more, right? Let's see, back to Orange Dan. The slab I cut it from cost me $300. Really? You got it? I don't know how big the slab was, but that seems kind of cheap, man. That's pretty cool, or inexpensive. It sounds like you got a good deal. I have 2 hybrid bowl blanks and a smaller solid bowl blank. Like, when you say hybrid, do you mean like burl and not burl, like 2 different parts of the burl, where it's regular wood in the burl, or when you say solid and hybrid, like the solid burl, or let me know about that. I don't understand what you mean there. The rest will be pins or a hybrid block with a bunch of cutoffs. Yeah, nice. Habitus, it is going all right. Sweet. Just getting ready to leave the office. Oh my gosh, you're at work? I guess, well, you know, sort of a joke. You work from home, you don't have to go very far, right? I don't know what you do, but thanks for tuning in before you left for home, man. That's cool. I'm gonna make an assumption that's where you're going. Alright, one more side to do. I definitely want to get this part done before I go any further because I can still hold it on the chuck. It's like a 3rd hand. Maybe in the 4th hand sometimes. But if he's trying to do this and hold on to it at the same time, and I can get different visual perspective on it by rotating it. So it's very helpful to do it right now. This is going to be grand and wants me to. This part here is like, I don't know. Let's see, looking at this, I would say this is going towards, this is part of the other side of the crotch from this side, because I've got to change my direction of my sanding, and I will do that after I get all the gross tool marks out of this side. I haven't had to do this much sanding in forever. but cutting a lot of air, doing a 320 box this big anyway. Always using sub tools, but even so, I got some tear out on this ride. Now I get to do this. I just joke about it, but it's true. It's like watching grass grow. It's not the coolest thing to do. To watch whatever, I guess. I don't know. It's not super exciting. It's just, yep, this is part of this process. I've got to do it sometime. But that's why I started the broadcast a little early, so I can get some other things done with it. Thankfully, it's not as chilly out here, but I'm still, like I said, having issues with the thermal expansion and contraction of the pieces. So I've got the lid that I need to turn. It's inside right now. When I'm done sanding this, it's going back inside just like everything else. And I'm bringing the lid out, and you just keep juggling things that way. In the hope that it mitigates camera issues. That's the only ring that I need to turn. That's also sitting inside. And I'm just going to get it close until I've got warmer weather. I think tomorrow it might hit 40. I don't know. I don't remember. That might be warm enough to have to do some extended work. I'm kind of bummed about this though, to be honest, because like I said, I haven't had to do this much sanding in forever. I don't think I even have any 120 sandpaper anymore. I got lucky with these couple of pieces. I think they're 100 grit maybe. But for quite a while, man, the lowest grit that I've had to use was 150. But this does remind me of my younger days as a turner, I guess, if that's the right way to put it. My earlier years, I did lots of sanding there. Lots and lots of sanding. But you take the secret sauce, you take some classes, and, it's the same for everybody. We all got to start those same spot. And that means, your skill skills may not be up to where you think they should be right away. It takes time and practice. I do think it's kind of a hassle to have to sand this much anymore, but it is also a little bit funny. Sitting here doing this. I'm just going to show you sometimes even with sharp tools and good technique. Especially doing an odd shape like this. Every single facet, in all three facets, I have much more air to cut than not. Alright, so those are fairly straight. I think I can move on to 220 now, maybe. That's still been pretty nice. I'm going to leave that the way it is. Well, yeah, that's nice and hard, so hopefully it'll stay in place. If it doesn't, it's not going to affect the inside because it doesn't go all the way through. Just be a void. This would be, if it was a void, it'd be nice if it was up towards the top and people could see it, but it wasn't, so reason for putting it where I did. possible piece I can out of this. And originally, I was going to make this the lid, and that was all going to get turned away. But once I get down here to be able to screw this up and get rid of that tenon around this edge over, whatever other little things I did, I think it'll be a really nice part of the box. Nice feature. Yeah, I think it's cool to be able to leave natural edge where you can. I don't know, just to remind myself, show people, yep, this is where it came from. This isn't a classic Walmart made in wherever piece of material. Okay, so I'm going to move on to 220 now. Let's hit it. Let's not do that. Let's hit it with 150 first. That's right. You're done. Yeah, for all new turners out there too, even older turners, man, I guess sometimes, I always feel like I can learn something. I want to learn as much as I can. There's so much to the world of wood turning, right? Don't be afraid to change out your abrasive, man. Don't. I think it's more work if you're using dull abrasive. When it's just not cutting right, pop it up. You get better results on your finish. The first that you start off with what's going to kind of dictate how you finish in your accuracy. Material that you're using. If it's just to say wood, because usually that's what it is. You're not going to normally put a finish on the resin piece, I suppose. I don't. Anyway. And make sure it's polished and all that. But if it's just a strictly resin piece, I don't usually put the finish on it after it's done. A lot of curl coming up in here. All that is curl. That's awesome. But it is piece of wood, so it's going to be curl. Yeah, that's funny. That's actually not true all the time, is it? There's some wood that the grain just does not show up well. You're not going to see it in curl. Even though, the curl wood is compression wood. But depending on the species of tree, the compression wood may not show up much differently or any differently than the rest of the normal timber. I think I definitely have seen that in white cedar. Willow, like the turn some willow. And it grain, it all just looks homogeneous and the same. It's a nice creamy color, at least the willow I tried. But there's no grain differentiation. like you can get with walnut or maple cherry, you know, I mean, take a number of other species. You can put it through the growth range, you can put it through the grain so you can get a burl. So I guess I'll have to quantify that by saying it's not always true. I am in the process that I'm trying not to hurry at all because this, like I said, when I pass the final finish, that's the surface that I have to start with. I want to be as clean a surface as I can have before I start. Putting any finish on, I imagine once I get to 220 here, I'll pick this off the lathe and let it sit inside. I'll probably have to hit it again after a couple of days, depending on, well, maybe not. I mean, now we're talking the wood grain, and there'd be no reason for the wood grain to raise up. Because, I mean, the piece isn't going to be wet. Although I did just learn, what do they call it? I can't remember the name of what they call it. Popping the grain, that's what I've heard it called. And I had to do some research because I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? And they're talking about, you know, on your final sanding. Yeah, that grain's really going to pop out once it's buff. That's cool. That's wild, man. You know, now that I think about it, actually, I may not be able to let this sit inside. When I do the lid, I want to sand the lid too, the outer part of the lid. It probably doesn't matter, actually. Well, I mean, I'm not sanding it to get a surface on it because I have an idea of how I'm going to turn the lid, but me sanding it before that would just be a waste of time. But where the corners meet, I want them to match up like they do here. So I'm going to do a little bit of sanding on the corners to make sure it lines up. That's not a straight line. There we go. That's a straight line. Almost a straight line. There we go. One and two, you can definitely tell which way the wood wants to be cut and sanded. It'll tell you right away. Grain will rise up, or you'll get a different finish. Sanding. So if you're having issues with sanding a piece, it's a good idea to try sanding the other direction. If that's never crossed your mind, just put that out there. I found even turning timbers that, you know, the timber just wants to be cut in one particular direction, following the grain, not getting a good cut, go the other direction. Doesn't help when you burl wood very much, or truly maple or something like that, where the grain, bird's eye, where the grain just goes all over the place. Okay, that was 150. And now on to the last bit. Yay! 220. Whoops. Oh, almost thought you fell in there. Shade is good, buddy. Okay, let's go for 220. We'll hit this at 220, then we'll take her off and start on the lid. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Love it. So, orange jam. Gosh, like, what was that, 2 weeks ago, I think, that I commented on that barrel. I know you've heard a couple things since then. I've seen them on Instagram. But have you been doing anything today, lately, or is it the barrel that you're working on? I can't wait to see that, man. That's one of the barrel, well, barrel in general is just really good. That piece of timber you got there sure is pretty. Hanging around with ideas. I had it came to me while I was sleeping. Actually, this happened. But as far as I think, there's, well, I'm going to wind up piercing this at the top, the ribs of this. But I didn't want just I don't know, generic shape. So it came to me in a dream what I'm gonna try to do anyway. I'm gonna double check it because it may not be thick enough to do what I want and what I was thinking. But then again, it might be. I might be able to pull it off. Yeah, this is looking nice. And again, though, maple usually does. One of my favorite woods. I don't know, I've been asked many times, like, what's my favorite wood to turn? I don't know, man. I really do like turning the woods that are yellowish in color, like honey locust. Osage orange is nice. Black locust is nice to turn, but it's not the same. The reason why they call it black locust and honey locust, I think that it's nice to clean. It's not so much nice to stand. I don't like the sawdust that comes off of it. Cherry can really be nice to tan. Walnut can be problematic, I think. But fresh walnut, like green, that is really nice to tan. Says I. But I think all in all, my favorite wood to turn is the free kind. I mean, labor or all, something I had to pay greenbacks for. I do the labor to harvest it or cut up or help, people take trees down and cut up trunks, what have you. I've finally got a network Pretty good one too, actually. And people tell me when, hey, there's two coming down, or there's one down, or whatever. Of course, woodturners probably do that for each other too, but my network is mostly people outside the club. And talked to over the years. So I use rescued and recovered wood everywhere I can. I would rather use that than see it go to waste. Logging operations are a nice little cache for me. There we go, all done. Sweet. And typically, you know, the logging operations, they, at least up here anyway, they typically just leave what they consider unusable on the ground. So it just goes to rot. And of course, it makes the whole, you know, clear cut space look like crap. But eventually the stuff breaks down. But it's nice to be able to have access to those places. So you see that bark inclusion there? It's not going to be inside. So, like I'm catching probably like the very, very outside. I mean, it's not quite there, but you see a bit of a different color right in there, if it shows up on the camera. It's right there, and that is the wood that's right up against it. So even if that falls out, that'll be okay. Not all that terribly worried about it. I just think it looks cool. I don't know how well it will be seen, but I think it looks pretty darn cool. Alright, so I'm not truing this dude up. I have to because it's warped a little bit. Let me grab that lid. You know, since I'm turning these rough, not this though, since I'm turning the onion ring rough, I can bring that piece of timber out and it can sit out here. It's alright if it... let's see, guess what? It's time to change the jaws. Oh, hey, and I can take the mask off. Sweet. Oh, wait. Only for a minute. Until I get started sanding again. So where the lid's, well, you know, I have no control over where the lid, whoever, you know, wherever this piece winds up living, I have no control over how anyone places the lid on this thing, right? But right now, we're working with my vision and it's here with me. So I want to, and really that's, you know, I'd really like it to be displayed in the best possible light. But I really want to make sure that these corners here match up with the corners relative to this. So it's a nice little grain change right there on that crotch piece, which is where I had all that tear out. So I'll get some more curl up in this here, but I want to make sure that when this sits where I want it to sit, that those lines are straight. It's my aesthetic, so like I said, I can't control how it turns up with somebody else. But right now, where did I put that stuff? Oh, Jaws, where'd you go? I didn't put you away. I put you somewhere close. I know I did. Bear with me while I look for. I'm probably glancing right over it. It's not under there. Oh, come on, man. I'm pretty sure I didn't put it away. What happened to it? Did it fall off? No. The hunt begins. I do not recall coming back here to put it back in the drawer. Did I take it inside? That would be weird, but possible. Well then, huh. I know I put it somewhere close. And of course, I got the jabberjack in my jaw. And it has now slipped my mind where they have gone. Not in anybody's pockets. Well, shucks. This might stop everything. Nope, it's not going to be down there. Let me check the other side just to make sure it didn't fall off. I mean, I haven't made any new shavings, so I would think that it would be right on top. If they fell down, but let's take a look. Nope, not down there. Well, I'll be a potato. I set it aside. I was going to put them away in the right spot, but I knew I'd have to change the jaws again quickly. And so I said, no, I'll just set it here. And since it's not in the spot it belongs, I'm having a little trouble finding it. Let's make sure I'm not just glossing over, like totally missing it. Should be right on top of something. Well, I guess I could regale you with jokes, but I don't have any good ones. I don't. Okay. My camera petered out there momentarily. That was wild. Well, that is really bizarre, man. It has gone for a walk. I don't remember where the heck I put it. I know I put it really close because I had to get to it, and I need those jaws. I guess we'll save this for later until I can find them, and I'll work on the onion ring. I can't imagine where the heck they got to. I clearly have forgotten. All right, set those down. Take one quick trip over here just to make sure I didn't bring it inside, because while that wouldn't make sense, it's not outside reality. Okay, nope. All right, so we'll go between centers for this onion ring. That's craziness, man. All right, let's just look in these. I wouldn't put it in another drawer, though, because it wouldn't fit in another drawer. It has a spot. And it's not in its spot. All right. That is a trip. How quickly that disappeared from my brain. All right. Just want to make sure that I haven't put it in a drawer. No, I know I put it right on top of something. Anyway, all right, I'll stop rambling. Stop it. Let's grab our centers here. Put that away. And my tailstock over here. I should probably save this sawdust for that box in case I need any more like that. Not much, but it'll fill a crack if one shows up. Set you over here. Actually, we'll set you over here. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just losing my mind. That's a possibility. All right, let's find some centers here. I need a pencil. I don't think that ruler's going to make it. Nope. That won't either. We'll just use this guy. I just got to be close. Straight edge is a straight edge, right? Okay. That over there. Let's just set these so my points will find them easier. And yeah, we'll start on this side. So what I'm doing with this guy is forming the onion ring. That's going to be the tenon that holds the lid in place on the box. She is not secure yet. So now we've got to make sure everything clears. See, I'm not quite centered up, but anyway, that's all right. I've got enough material here that I can work around that. I got lucky with this piece. I didn't have a large enough piece. Let me put this mask away. A large enough piece to otherwise to turn an onion ring, other than this piece of maple, 8/4 piece of maple that I had. But it is in the same orientation as the box. It's in grains running this way, so the grains running this way. So when this becomes an onion ring, it should move and expand and do all the same things that the rest of the box does once we actually get it attached. So first things first, just gotta make it round. And then I can work on the actual sizing of it. Now, I am a bit off the tool rest. If you're not comfortable with doing this, don't do it. I do try to, most of the time, keep my tool rest as close as possible to the workpiece. But since I'm just banging off corners right now, that should be a good surface there. I'm going to try the other direction and see if I get even better than that. out of the cut there. And we'll see. Is it any better? Nope, it's actually better the other way. All right, well, I'm going to grab the box. I need my calipers. They're right there. And we'll size this onion ring to, well, we'll rough it out, really. Again, because the thermal expansion and contraction, I'm going to leave it inside for everything to warm up and equalize. Let's see, there's the calipers. And then just do the dance of taking it in and out and in and out and in and out until I get this sized properly. So I don't want to glue it together and then, glue it in place and then have everything like, it had shrunk so much that, it warps and changes shape. So right now I'm setting my calipers up to take this diameter on the box itself. I see it's no longer round. It's close. Well, then that will be, nope, that won't be. I need it bigger than this, not smaller, because we're working towards go a little bit more towards a rough shape so that I can fit everything together when they're all dried or not dry but warm. I think that'll do right there. So I really don't need the bowl of the box anymore. It's blowing my mind, man. I'm still keeping an eye out for where the heck I set those down. I said, yeah, this would be a good spot. Let me go back here and see. I don't think I set it over here. That wouldn't make any sense either. Hey, but there's my mallet. I need that. Set that up there. Yeah, that's wild, man. All right, let's draw ourselves a circle here. Let's see, I want to raise this up some. Oh, heck, I'm really already there. Well, I'll take off the 16th, and I'll just take one more pass off of that guy. And then I'll true it up and... Actually, yeah, I'll true it up, but create myself a tenon here for the chuck jaws. So let me take one more pass on the side. I was already in the ballpark. I can put these calipers away for now. I didn't move anything out of the way to set them down. Yeah, see, I'm still worrying over that. I gotta find those eventually, though. Let's see, let's go with a full cut here. A very fine one. Yeah, I don't really have to worry too much about sanding out here. I want to have as good a surface as I can. I doubt I'm going to hit it with any sandpaper or anything like that, because this will be the tenon that the box lid slides on and off of. So for one, the only time it'll ever be visible is when the box lid is off. And for two, it's the tenon, and it's going to have some kind of, you know, it's going to be a little bit rougher than the rest. Not much, but a little bit rougher than the rest of the piece. That is too tall now. There we go. Yep, follow the rain. That's a good tenon. Did it go deep enough? Not quite. Okay, maybe that's a good title to a book, I think, for sure. I'm working with sharp tools. Anybody else is old enough to check? I think get rid of the controller set. That's a lot of my funnies, I think. I'm going to have to spin a guard, give myself a dovetail, hold on to it after I get this knot here. Okay. Well, I think let's see. I don't have any low spots, right? No splits or cracks. Okay. And I won't go all the way down to the surface. I want that sitting in the jaws anyway. And then I can hollow that out later. Yeah. Drill it, whatever I need to do to get that started. I'll probably just use a spindle gouge to start drilling and then opening that up. This is kind of a bummer, man. Oh, you know what? I don't actually need... Oh, yeah. I don't actually need to do what I wanted to do. Although I do need to find those jaws. I don't actually need them for what I really wanted to do, which was to do some sanding where these points are. And I can do that between centers now that I think about it. So I'm gonna 8:30. Oh wow. Yeah, I really need to find those jaws or this is going to be a shorter broadcast. Close enough to center. That center's still there. Let's see. Let's use that center over here. Well, no, that one's going to push in further. That'll be my dome on the inside. So, all right, let's move this guy. Stuff out of the way. Now, how was the access? The reason I wanted the chuck jaws is that I wouldn't have to have the tail stuck up here. Well, that's clearly not the center. No, I don't have to have a super tight hold anyway. I just need to be able to hold it. All right. Move that aside and grab my sander again with the other piece of 220 because this was, well, actually I don't need to sand this because my idea is that I'm actually going to cut a V into that and have the wings come out so that I can carve some wings that are going up, 2 corners that are going up, and 1 corner that's angled down or curved downward. I think I can pull that off. This is, what, 7/8 of an inch thick? I think I can still do that. 15/16. Yeah, I might be able to still do that. Okay. Air tool. Air tool. And hey, while I'm thinking about it, since I just thought about it, let's take a look at how many people we got in chat, because it would be really great if I could get, I've got 4 people, Abatus, Boykin Lover 226, and Orange Dan 76. Thanks to you all for joining me. I really do appreciate it. As soon as I get 5 people in here, I'll be asking you all to get to chatting. I would really appreciate it, because that's the last step that I've got to take to earn my affiliate status with Twitch. And I've been working at it for a year. It's taken a while. Had to get X amount of followers, so many streams, hours per month on average, so many broadcasts per month on average, so many viewers on average, the whole 9. So this is the last step, is to get 5 people to chat at once, at the same time, not at once, but at the same time. So we'll start some conversation. Doesn't matter to me what we talk about. Hey, we're turning, right? Or at least I am. We could talk about wood turning. You can always ask questions anyway. That's why I do this live. I really enjoy the interaction, and it gives people a chance to ask questions. So I think, all right, now that I know I've got that set, I want to take a look. Let's grab a pencil here. I want to line this stuff up as best I can in this situation, because I don't have my tenon set. I can't just set the lid down. So I'm going to mark. Well, I'll be dogged. All right, cool. So I got two that are in the right spot. So that one is in the right spot. And then this one, well, I'll double check, but I think it was right there that it was in the right spot. Oh, be still. Be still. Line these up again. So I need to move this one over a little bit. It is, 3/8 of an inch off there, but we'll just run our sander over there and get those lines straightened out. Again, I don't need to sand the whole thing of this, because my idea is I'm going to be cutting right into that and making 2 layers. Faster with the coarser bit. Of course it went there. Oh, that's a coarse joke. Okay. maybe I'll take a file to it. I guess I'm losing the line. I wasn't sure. My place is taking longer than I thought it should. Clean up this side. Back up there. Okay, that's that corner. That's pretty much dead on. A little bit wider on this side than that side. I don't know if you can see that, I guess. A little bit wider here than this here. Just need to straighten that line up. And I'll double check it when I'm done with this. As long as the outside of it matches, outside here and outside here, because this is going to get turned away in theory. This guy. Alright, there we go. So let's double check these lines here. That line's good. That line is slick. We can take this one up just a little bit more. Let's get this guy around. So it goes from this side because it wasn't on the downhill side. On the uphill side, it is on the downhill side. But make up the line this way. That's a nice crisp line. Well, let's take a look here. Before. Crisp. through. So that's really all I need to do with that. Now, of course, next can I do what I wanted to do between centers with this guy? Probably. Put these pieces inside again. It's just really bizarre that I cannot remember where I set those things down. It's crazy. Surely they didn't just up and walk away. Alright, one more check back here. Let's see. Nope. And hey, it gives me a chance to stay away from the compressor because it's loud. I've got earplugs in, but yay, it shut off. Alright, just for my peace of mind, I'm gonna double check underneath my lathe to make sure that it didn't fall in and get kicked underneath, maybe. Nope. That really is the darndest thing. Cannot imagine where they got to. Okay, well, I can still turn this guy. Don't need the chuck for this. The smaller jaws. So let's do this. Make sure we're secure. Boykin lever 22. Hey, I know the struggle with trying to get that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you wood turner? I'm not sure where, Boykin lever 22, oh, 226. I'm sorry. Where are you at? Are you a wood turner? Are you having interest in wood turning? I mean, I'm sure that wood turning isn't the only venue that something like this might come up for. But since it's my world, this is what's happening. I'm still looking, man. I'm sorry. I really, this is bothering the heck out of me. Because I know well, I believe I set them down. Yeah, they're not in my pockets. Somewhere where they would be easily gotten to because I knew I had to swap jaws. I just swapped jaws a few hours ago to try to start sanding the outside of that box. Doggone it. So I'm going to do whatever I can between centers, and then after that, I'm kind of done until I can find my stuff. So let's make sure all of this clears. Nope, not that one. That clears, that clears. So that one is just, it's fat 1/8, short 3/16. So that one's about a 1/16 of an inch further out. That's all right. Let's see, I might need my 40-degree spindle gouge. I am going to want to put a fresh edge on my 50-degree gouge. Yeah, so I need to dress this guy up really quick. Well, I guess since I'll be over there, let's see. I still got a good edge. I haven't used that one much. It's just impossible to find the chuck jaws that I need. It's just impossible. That's weird. You know what would be really hilarious is if I set them down and then they vibrated off behind something, then I'll never find them. I guess hilarious is maybe not quite the right word. Hey, but I found a package of 220 grit down here. Just no chuck jaws in there either. So they didn't fall behind this. That's a good thing because it would be hard to get them out of there. Whoop! Alley oop! Alley up! Okay, gouge. Need to put fresh edge on. So 50-degree gouge. I will eventually have a third camera. I want to set it up next to my grinder so that I can do some, well, show how I work with my tools, how I grind my tools, but so I can also do a video about sharpening a couple, a video or two. It's always a good topic to talk about. I don't do a lot of, well, I don't have like 40/40 grind. I mean, I can make those multiple grinds if I want to, but I don't use them enough to warrant burning up my tool steel. To change the grind often, I have one spindle gouge, one 3/8, one 3/8 spindle gouge that's 50-degree, 1/3 that is 40-degree, and then my 1/2 inch is 50-degree. But I usually use a 50-degree grind on my gouges, and I don't put a bevel on that most of the time, like a relief bevel to take this little shoulder off. I don't usually do that. I have. There are occasions, but since I have spindle gouges of specific types, and I only use 2 grinds, 40 and 50-degree, and the 40. You can see how long this tool is. I don't use it very much. Just very, very tight spaces. Oh yeah, I should have a lot of room for this idea. Maybe, maybe I'm just thinking that I do. I really don't. Making some nice shavings though. I don't have another tool that I could actually really get in here nice and tight, so I know I'll be doing some carving on this bit. But I'll get a ways down the road with it. What I'd like to have, what I'm shooting for is this angle and this angle to be opposite of each other so that, they're the same. I don't have one wide one and one one shallow one. I may actually have to get in here with a carding tool to get deeper, possibly. Well, I mean, I was going to have to do some carving anyway, right? I wanted to have two of these points. I want to have a curve, this curved down, and 2 points curved down and one curved up, or vice versa. So when I make this lid, I'll be making a dome on the top, sort of, kind of, a semicircular shape, to do the one or two on top, probably two, maybe not, I don't know. We'll find out when I get there. So I'll have some to carve away for sure. But let me grab my 40-degree gouge and get in there. Hello. Oh, you're going to be like that. I caught some of the edge cutting air as it was coming around. So that will be not one of the ones that I carved down. That's the only one that got affected, so that's okay. It'll be carved away. Being careful then. I just have to catch just right. Yeah, right there. I've done it. Hopefully that was just one. Yep. Just caught that corner. Almost lost my 50-degree gouge off the lathe. I was inducing vibration into that. Let's grab the spindle or the parting tool. I can get in quite a bit further. In fact, I can follow that bevel that I just made. Oops, tighten that down. And take it to this conclusion, where both of these will actually meet. In the middle, it will be a single width of the parting tool. And that's as far as I want to go with that. Whoops, get back here. So what I'll probably wind up doing, no, I'll be able to address that that surface once. Actually, I'll put a burr on this. We'll address it now. But I'll definitely be able to get more into that surface when I carve the whichever petals away that I need to carve away. But I do want to keep enough space in here for the tenon, just to sit on the tenon. I can change, I can make the tenon any height I want, which is always a lovely thing. Alright, I guess it's time for me to cough up a few bucks. Well, it won't be soon, but cough up a few bucks to get a new party tool. This one's getting mighty short. So I put a fresh burr on it. We'll just clean up that surface. A little bit of light pressure. Oh yeah, that looks much better. Okay. Just take it down and just taking some really fine angel hair shavings off of that with the burr. I got the handle tilted up. I'm just barely contacting the surface with that burr. And using it like a scraper. See how that looks. It's a lot cleaner, but I'm getting a little bit of tear out. Oh, but that was the area I was getting tear out on the bowl too. So I'm getting a little bit of tear, just a tiny bit of tear out in this spot, right down at the bottom. Everything else is clean. So I'm going to go with that. Okay. And so what's going to happen with this is that either these two or one of these two corners is going to be up. And then the other two of these corners, well, clearly not that one. These two corners will be curved down. I'll have to carve out the rest of that off the lid. Then I'll be able to fit everything. This has got to warm up too. So that's as far as I can get with that guy tonight. So I'll set that inside. And I know I got to be probably stumbling right over them. Not seeing them, the forest for the trees, right? That's a possibility too, that I'm just looking right over it because it's in a spot that it doesn't belong. But I would think that would help make it stand out. Apparently not. Doggone it, man. I really need those other jaws. So I'll have to spend some time tomorrow, clearly, looking for these things. It's just the wildest thing. The only thing I think is that they bounced off and gone somewhere else. Let me check my bin here. Maybe they fell into the bin. Nope. Huh. I don't get it. Gremlins? Maybe 'twas gremlins. No, I've just set them down somewhere and cannot frickin' remember where the heck they are. Well, let's see. What can I start here? What are we looking at? 9 o'clock? Man, I hate to end the broadcast this soon. Oh, did they fall in that thing? Nope. I didn't set them over there. Hate it when that happens. Thinking about where I've got them set, my mind is a complete frickin' blank. I cannot remember. Oh shoot, I forgot too. I've got earplugs in. I've been talking. Like, why does my voice sound so funny? Okay. Put those inside the jacket. Turn off the grinder. I got 2 glue blocks down here. 3. Bark. There's the 2 left. Try not to get the shavings piled up too much, but I do leave some shavings on the opposite side of my lathe. Oh, I got a blue light. I wonder if that means the audio's dead. Let's see. Am I still? Nope, still broadcasting out here. All right. So a couple of things dove off, but I do leave, some shavings down behind my lathe so that there's a softer spot to land if things, and they do, if they come off the lathe, vibration or otherwise. Usually in my case it's because I got vibration happening. Especially like doing this 3-corner box, I had to set the whole thing off the center 3 different times. And so that induced vibration into the whole turning, and I had tools fall off the lathe and into the shavings. I've had a couple of pieces I turned. Aha! Found them. Oh, goodness. Couldn't find them. Why? Because I had covered them up with a bag full of abrasive. So I guess we're back in business. Let's see. Let me set this aside. I need to reattach this because I'm done. Let's see. Am I done with the sander? Am I done with the sander? I believe I'm done with the sander. For now. All right. So I'm going to swap my jaws back out. That was just crazy, man. Of course I do it to myself. I covered them up. So let's swap these out, and then I'm going to grab that. Lid and see about doing a little bit more turning on that. I can actually do the ring now, so that's a bonus. Ah, heck, man, we're just going to go through it all now that I can. Now I'm thinking about checking out. I don't remember the name of them. They're like a quick change jaw. You just got to slide them in and slide them out to swap them out, as opposed to, taking screws out and stuff like that. And I thought that might be pretty cool. But I guess they're plastic, I think. Maybe Teflon, but not as stout as the metal jaws, obviously. But I think I might want to check those out, and because if you got to change jaws a lot, and I wouldn't say I have to change them a lot, but I do change them on a regular basis because I only have so many chucks, because they're spendy to buy. I really like this Vicmark chuck. I gotta say, this is my favorite chuck. I have used them, Vicmark chucks, at Aeromont, a couple other places. Also, let's see, One Way, those are not bad, but Vicmark, I think, beats One Way by a landslide. And hey, if anybody at Vicmark is watching my broadcasts and you would like to sponsor this channel, please contact me. I think these are from my experience anyway, the best jaws, the best chuck on the market. This thing is just about bulletproof. And with a lot of other jaws that I've seen, the screws that hold it in place are usually pretty small. And these are not. There's a good sized screw to hold the chuck jaws in place. Now I'm going to put all of this back where it belongs so I don't have to go through that again. Right here in this drawer in that spot. All right. Did it to myself, of course. I know it did, but I just trying to figure out where the heck. I knew I set them close by, and they were. They were right on top of another toolbox, but I wound up moving a bag full of abrasives. Found a package of 320 grit abrasive Velcro, paper, or Velcro abrasives, Velcro backed abrasives. And then, I don't know, somehow my mind went blank. All right, that's not the side I want first. I want this side first. So now I can move my tailstock out of the way, finally. After I get the live center out of there. Because he's a mean elbow poker. He is. That guy is a mean elbow poker. I know I'm not the only one to experience that. I just try to get rid of it as soon as possible. It never fails, man. I leave it on there, and I'm in the lathe, and then my elbow just goes right back into it. I talked to a guy, I can't remember what, I think he was from Detroit Club, Detroit area, Woodturners. He was kind of joking that how do you tell a woodturner by the bandages on their elbows? Or it's like, yeah. Oh, I should talk about this. So one of the things that I have learned over the years is that, especially on a smaller piece, a thin piece like this, I've got maybe an eighth of an inch here of tenon, and truthfully, I really don't need that. I've got about an eighth of an inch indent there. I could get away with a little bit less, but you don't need, especially on pieces like this, you don't need, like this whole thing doesn't need to be the tenon. I've pretty much split it in half, and then the chuck jaws are going to, and that gives me a little bit more room here to mess around, but you don't need to fit the whole thing like buried in the jaws, and you don't want to anyway. You don't want your material touching the well down here. You want it to ride right up on this face, and you want that to be that surface that's going to ride on the face to be as flat as possible, so it sits right on there. These are dovetail jaws, so I've made a little bit of a dovetail on all these just to have it fit better and not crush the fibers so much. Like, if it was a square jaw, I wouldn't make a dovetail. But by making the dovetail, I don't take a square face and crush it in so much. Let me set this aside because in some place I can find it, like right there. Okay, so this was going to be the top. So I want it to work on this guy down here. So anyway, it's sitting right. I don't know if can I move the camera just a bit? Something like that. So it's sitting right on top of the jaw's face, and I've got that this surface is parallel to the surface of the jaw, so everything's sitting flat. And now I gotta move. I've been bouncing things around here. Let's see. Let's try not to do that again. That's pretty centered, so that works. So let's make sure this is nice and secure. No, I need these calipers. No, I don't need. Yeah, do I need these calipers? Let's see. I've got a ruler. That's a 6-inch ruler. Let's go with this guy. Bring this guy back up. That's not long enough either, is it? Wait for it. Yes, it is. So if I go along that straight line, I have 16.2 centimeters. Oh, you won't open that far. Well, that's just lovely. So I don't need much on the outside. Let's get a different ruler so I can mark this out properly. Although this will be in inches now. That's a 6-inch ruler. That's not going to help. There we go. So I just need enough of an indentation to be able to sit on top of the tenon that this is going to be. And I've got, let's measure this in inches now. On that straight line, I've got 9 3/8. So that would be 4.5 plus 3/16, so 11/16, 4 and 11/16. Oh, I'm reading it backwards. Sorry, it's not 9, it's 6. 6 and 3/8. So 3 and 3/16. Pencil. So technically I get, well, I need to be able to measure it. 3 and 3/16. So that's my ballpark. Actually, that is the actual diameter, so I'm going to draw that one. And then I'm going to take it out. No, I'm not. I'm going to take it in because I need to work this to the right spot. That's my ballpark, though, so I think let's set this on that line. Looks even to me. So let's make this line all the way around. There we go. So that's where my tenon will need to sit. And I have, oh man, like, well, more than 1/4 inch of thickness right where that needs to sit, or maybe about 1/4 inch. But I only need to get in there about 1/8 of an inch or so. So carving this won't be an issue having that tenon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. Wait for it. Are you going to do that, Dave? Is that what you're going to do? Because we can't lose this yet. But I can make another one. Okay. Groovy. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to dish this out a little bit to give the inside a little bit of a dome shape, which is going to take my bowl gouge. Should check the audio. Yep, audio is still working. Cool. I've got one microphone that's like half charged and the other one that's fully charged, and they both look the same, and it's hard to tell which one is which. So I'm paying attention to the audio. If this one dies prematurely, I will know that I have chosen the wrong one the first time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a place to hold this in the chuck, but I want it to look like it's a detail, right? So grab a pencil again. Magic measuring tool. So if I go to the outer, be right there. So I'm not quite even halfway in to the depth of this, so I'm going to call that good. I'll have to work my way out here some, but what I'm going to do is give myself a rabbit. I guess it's what you call it. I don't know. For some reason, English is failing me today. I need this light. So I'll make a spot in here to make an expansion hold, but I'll make it look like it's a detail. So I don't know. I might beat it. We'll figure that out in a second. But I don't need to make it very deep. That right there should be enough of a hold, but I'll take it down just a skosh more. So that's a good 1/16 of an inch. It's a little bit fatter than a 1/16 of an inch. That's really all I need to hold it with the chuck jaws when I have it turned around to do the top. That's really all I need. So let's see. I'm going to grab this negative rake scraper. Still there tight. All right. Clean that surface up. Let's see, I've got just the tiniest little nib right there. So we'll just take the burr and gently scrape that little nib off in 4 directions. Nice and smooth. All right, so now I'm going to make a little bit of detail in here, just in the dome. I was just kind of sort of contemplating there we go. I was just sort of contemplating maybe putting some kind of inset piece in there, which I still can do. Actually, I can size it to fit that and fit that in there, and that whole detail will be gone. Nobody will know. Oh, that's where he held the piece in the chuck. Not that matters so much, but I want all my features to look like they belong there, like they weren't left behind because of a manufacturing process or something like that. So since I need to go in the direction that I have grain support, I'm going to do some beading, and I'm going to go in one direction. I kind of call them continuous beads because I'm going continually in one direction carving beads. I think I can get away with it with the ways being a little bit in the way. But I want to go in the direction that I have the most support when I'm cutting into these. So in this case, actually, it's not going to, it is going to matter a little bit. It's not going to matter a ton, fortunately, because I'm cutting into the grain this way. So I've got support underneath every cut. So if I make my continuous bead going this way or going this way, It'll probably be, it might be easier to go this way just because I got a curve, but I will be supported all the way in. So I'm going to go this way. And one more for fun. Then I'll clean them up going the opposite direction. That looks pretty good. I think I will chamfer this edge just a bit. And then I'm going to undercut it just a bit with my 1/4 inch skew actually. So that my dovetail, my jaws has a little bit of a recess to go into. Get a little bit better hold. There we go. So now I've got detail on the inside surrounding this, and if I put a cabochon, some kind of inset in there, it'll look really, really nice. Right now this looks fine the way it is. I could clean this bead up though. There we go. Well, I didn't quite get it. There we go. Clean that up some. So my tenon is going to fit somewhere out in here. It's going to be out in this area where it's going to fit up against that, from somewhere out in here up against that line. So this detail, you won't be, you really can't tell that, oh yeah, that's where he needed to hold on to the chuck or whatever. And that's the way I like to do these things. Clean that up. Let's clean this up. There we go. So there's really no sanding involved in this, really, not on that part. I'm good to go. And I don't know. I'll think about putting something in there. I might not. It depends on whether, I don't know what it depends on. But so now I can reverse this dude, have an expansion hold. Not my favorite, but I've got plenty of material for the jaws to push against. All of this, because this is lower than this surface here. So I've got all of this to push against. I don't want to have something like, this 1/8 of an inch or maybe that 1/8 of an inch. And that's all I have for wall thickness. I'd want a little bit more, 3/8, maybe 1/2 inch, but I've got, what is that? Almost that, well, that's probably 2 inches right there on the side, maybe 1 3/4. But there's plenty of material for the jaws to push against. And now that I see that, though, I want to clean that up. Yeah, I do. All right, so I'm going back in here. I should have marked it, but I think I'm okay. Let's see if it's running true. Yep. So I'm in the right spot. Let me look at this again. I'm trying to find, there it is, the area that I need to just touch up a little bit. Yep. Almost got it. Whoops, wrong tool. Super fine angel hairs, man. Not taking much off at all. There we go. Just have to clean it up so I don't have to sand it later. I guess I could choose to do that later if I want, but let's not and say we did. Or let's not and say we didn't. How's that? That'd be even better. Oh, wrong direction. Let's close this guy down. How are we looking at time? 9:30. Not bad. All right. I'm glad I don't have to end the stream soon or before I'm ready. So I got Abaddus, hand turned by David, and way cool wood. Hey, way cool, man. It's been a while. Nice to see you on. Hand turned by David. I don't recognize. I don't know if you've visited this channel before, but thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Since I got new people here, although Way Cool Wood was part of the group that was helping me last week, I believe. I've got one more step. I'm almost an affiliate with Twitch. It's been a year's effort to jump through all the hoops to become an affiliate. I've got one task left to do, and that's to get 5 people chatting at the same time. We don't have enough people on here right now, but I'll keep checking chat, and we'll go from there. It's I really appreciate the help and the support that I've gotten so far. I just have that last little step to becoming an affiliate. I've been working steadily and diligently to turn this endeavor into a income stream, and becoming an affiliate with Twitch will help with that. So I definitely appreciate all the help you're willing to give me. Thank you very much. We'll happily do the same for you if you're at that point. Okay, now I got to think about what I want to do with this guy. Let's see. Let's clean this up a bit. All right. Let's see. Now I cannot hold that there unless I take this surface down, but I want to give it a bit of a curve. You know what? I will. I'll curve it that way. Why not? So the 2 corners that I'm going to use will actually curve upward as opposed to downward. I think I can take it in a little bit more. I want these to be fairly thin because I am going to pierce them. Nope, I still need to take it down. Let me grab my calipers on this one. This is at a curve, so it's kind of even. Well, all right, I'll take it then. But a thinner wall makes it easier to do the piercings. That's the direction I want to go. I think I can go a little bit thinner than that. Yeah. Yeah, I do. There we go. Alright, then I will clean that up with this guy. And now let's adjust this so I have, let's see, I think I might bead that surface right there. And that'll give me a place to hold it with the chuck and hide any marks. So now I can grab it there or there with the chuck, and that'll hide the marks. Let's just touch this a little bit to clean it up. Take these really fine angel hair shavings off. Not a lot of pressure. I have to use my skew on this side. There we go. So now I've got beads here and I've got beads underneath. I think I'll make this one a little bit narrower. And I had to clean up a little bit of a saw mark, so that's gone now. Yeah, that'll show up really nicely. And just a little bit of abrasive in there, and we'll take care of all that. So what am I going to do here? I could continue that bead. Let's see, let's make sure. I'm trying to make sure. So I'd like the center portion to be flat. Although I guess, that doesn't really matter a whole lot. I just need a place that my base of my finial, which will also be slightly concave, can sit right on the outer edge and lay flat. So I think I'll do a couple more beads here. Carry this around. And could I go even further in, or is that... no, I think I'll leave it. Okay, so I got beads on the top and bottom. That will match. Yeah, nice, very nice. And then I can set my hole here for my finial, for my handle. And I will do that later. I want to finish. Now I need to turn this wing thinner. So, hey, I get to use my hideaway chuck hold immediately. And that should be running true. All right. So now let's work on this wing, because it also needs to be a lot thinner. Thin enough? Nope, needs to be thinner than that. And then, let's see, is that thin enough? Yep, that's thin enough. So now let me address this guy. Oh, yeah. I need to leave just enough room. That should do it. And that should give me just the amount of what I need, just enough in here to sit on top of the tenon. So let's take care of this bead. Well, it's not a bead yet. It's about to be. That's pretty good. So cool. All right. So I'm happy with that. And this is where I've got to stop for this guy. Now I'm going to start working on my tenon. Yeah. You know what? Wait, before I do that, let's go ahead and put a little abrasive on these guys. just to clean it up. I'm going to be piercing and carving and all that. So actually, yeah, I'm going to be piercing and carving. So I don't need to do any abrasive yet. That is a good surface to start with for, you know, carving away stuff and then piercing it. Very cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that. All right. I'm going to set this inside so it can warm up. And now we've got this dude. And then once I start, well, then I probably only have to change the jaws one more time, maybe. So what is the best way should I do this? Let's see. If I take a parting tool and use that, that means that bigger chunk I will be able to keep for another project if I can get through the surface of this with a clean cut. My tool rest is too short. Go with that. So I'm going to take my parting tool. What I need is the outer ring, an onion ring. So I'm just going to work my way in. A little bit at a time. So I don't get bound up. Opening up the curve a little bit. Let's see, I'm right there. Oh, I still got ways to go. You can hear the sound of the wood. It's getting thinner and thinner over there. I don't want to just bust on through. I want to ease my way through on the other side because this dude is spinning. There we go. Just enough to get it off of there. And now I can use the larger jaws to size it properly when I get to that point. But I have this piece now to use for another project. Cool. I thought I was going to have to waste all that away, but I wasn't thinking far enough ahead. So that'll be my tenon. Set you over there. And that, what are we looking at? 10 till 10? Yeah, all right. No, these have to warm up. I was just going to jump on to sizing everything, but, you know, these have to warm up. I can still change the chuck jaws now because that's what I will need next, is the larger jaws to be able to hold this and the box so I can finish off the bottom. but I got to true up the top of that thing once it warms up again. All right, so I'll leave those jaws where they are. I'm going to take this inside, let it warm up with the rest of the pieces. And I'll say that's all there is to that. I don't know that tomorrow will be warm enough to just run and go without having to go in and out and in and out, but it's also February, however you want to say it. I know how it's spelled. And it's supposed to be cold, but we're prognosticated to have a warmer than normal February here in Michigan. Let's turn this guy back up. I can get that turned off. I can turn off this guy. Yes. Okay. Groovy. So that's as far as I'm going with these pieces tonight. And I should turn off the compressor. Hold on one second. I thought I would be going longer, but I really do have to deal with that thermal issue. And it makes it such a pain in the butt when you have to try to fix, things not fitting together because now one is too small. If it's too big, that's another story. You can kind of bring it down, but I haven't found a product that adds wood back into to make it look like it was, that original wood. I haven't found anything like that. I don't know that it exists, so I know it's easier to take it off than it is to put it back on. And so I want the temperature of all those pieces to be similar to each other so that when they fit together properly and I can glue everything up. So let's swap over to here. Nope, not that one. That one right there. And back in the chat, we have Abaddus, Boykin Lover 226, and Way Cool Wood. All right. Apparently, I've got wood shavings everywhere. I swear, man, I everywhere I go, I'm like dropping wood shavings everywhere. Sometimes it may be that I haven't even turned that day. I don't know, I've got shavings on my clothes or something, and I leave them behind. One of the jokes around these parts is the one way you know that you are a diehard wood turner is if the wood shavings make a trail all the way to the bed. And I've come close with that. Okay. So that's going to wrap it up. This broadcast this evening. It's a little early. I started a little early, but I've gotten as far as I can go with the temperature differentials that I got to deal with. So I want to thank you for joining me. My name again is Dave. I'm a wood turner. Clearly, I started this channel to become a better teacher and a better demonstrator. And to help other turners improve their skills and their turning ability as well. The more that I work with other turners, and I'm talking from beginner to advanced, the more that stuff gets cemented in my own head, and with the practice that I put behind and all that, I too can become a better turner. I want to be the best turner I can be, and there are so many things in the wood turning world to even touch upon. I probably never touched them all, but I want to learn as much as I can, and so that I can share that too with my students. And of course, I'm always willing to learn something new or a different way to do things. Maybe it'll work for me, maybe it won't, but I still want to learn it. Because I might find that particular task, that's not the right word. Anyway, that particular style, there we go, might help someone else depending on their physical ability or whatever. With the lathe, I think that it's important that you keep your body joints and everything loose, that you can do the lathe dance, I call it. Other turners call it the same thing, but so that you move your body, and your body is what's moving the tool. It's not your hands, it's not your arms, it's your entire body that you're moving through when you're turning a piece. And once you have that rhythm going down and you got the practice, it becomes almost second nature. And it's much easier on your body than trying to beat things up with a tool or beat yourself up with a chunk coming around, approaching things at an angle that is not conducive to turning. But like I said, there's many pieces to the puzzle. I suggest to everyone I meet, it doesn't matter, even if they've been turning for a while. It's like, have you taken any classes? Have you found a good wood turner? Wood turner knows what he or she is doing to teach you the proper. I don't know if I want to even say that. I guess there's a way to say that there's a proper way to do things, and there's an improper way to do things. The safest, most efficient way is probably a better way to term that, because I don't want to say people are turning things wrong, because they're not. If it's working for them, it's not wrong. But could they be more efficient? Could they have better tool handling skills? Could they have better finish off the tool? I mean, I know I could, and I practice that all the time. So yeah, they could. And that comes from instruction, working with somebody who knows what they're actually doing. When I started turning as therapy for PTSD, as I said. But I jumped into like looking at YouTube and trying to figure it out that way, and learned, well, not quickly for me anyway, that YouTube is mostly for the views, right? They're not necessarily looking at, I mean, there's channels and people talk about safety and whatnot, but in general, YouTube is a popularity contest, right? They want to get the most views, and however they can do that, or however they do that, is up to them. I too have a YouTube channel, and of course I would like to have a lot of views and a lot of subscribers to my channel, but I want people to do things in the safest, most efficient manner possible, and that's how I teach my students. It's you want to approach everything with safety in mind. You're working on a piece of equipment that's spinning around at 50, 60 miles an hour with a chunk of something on the headstock, and there is always the possibility that it could come off, or you could get a catch. So everything that you can do to mitigate those things, that's not something that you necessarily pick up on your own. I wouldn't think so, because some things are so obvious, but yeah, some things are not. I mean, turning and cutting with turning tools, I mean, it's the same as flatboarding, right? You want to go with the grain, but how do you tell which way is the right way to the grain when you're turning? And that depends on the orientation of the piece. Is it in spindle orientation, where the grain is running parallel with the ways, or is it in bowl orientation, where it's perpendicular to the ways, or is it somewhere in between? And I've done all of those, and with it, but I always work at understanding that I've got to go downhill to the fibers where the support is, and learning how to read the timber. That's something you don't just pick up on, right? It takes time, but if you have instruction, somebody working with you side by side to help you understand what you're reading, it's the same with anything else. So I highly recommend that you take classes with a turner who knows what they're doing, not just anybody. And if you have a chance to mentor, depending on what your skill level is, I think you should take it. I think that I have learned a lot just by teaching. I have learned how to talk, or how to enunciate, how to elucidate, how to explain, what it is I'm doing, what my body's doing, because I've had to think about it so many times by teaching it to someone else. And that's helped a lot. Even just mentoring has helped me become a better teacher and a better instructor. I think it's fantastic. And I don't care. I don't think it's important what your skill level is necessarily. If you can turn something, right? Even if it's not the prettiest thing, if you can help somebody get started, but with the proper, uh, uh, the ABCs, the proper safety protocols, that kind of stuff, then you'll still help that person, regardless of whether or not you're an advanced, super skilled, best turner in the world. I'm certainly not the best turner in the world. I don't know that I ever will be. But that's not my goal. My goal is to be the best turner I can be, and to help other turners reach that goal too. So, anyway, enough about that. I definitely want to thank you again. I say it a lot, but I really do appreciate the support, man. I like having an audience when I'm turning. I like to be able to talk to people when I'm turning. I really enjoy turning a lot. I think it's fantastic therapy, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I like to teach it to people, because you get into a mindset, a focus, a certain focus that you get in there, and the uh, the day's idiosyncrasies, maybe they don't disappear, because I mean, things that's going on in your head is going on in your head, but they're in the background and they work themselves out. Pretty much, when depending on how much time you have spent at the lathe, they can work themselves out while you're actually working. You can have those epiphanies or what have you, and still have that focus, that in the now where you're at with a piece of material that's spinning around really fast, and that stuff. It's calming. It's meditative. It's a groovy time. So I hope that if you have an interest in wood turning, that you explore that. If you are wood turning, I hope that you find a way that you can approach it that makes it something that you want to do, something that you look forward to doing, as opposed to, oh, I got to do this, or oh no, I got to turn one of these now, or something like that. It's something that you want to do. You want to get out there, make some shavings. Doesn't matter to me really if I mean, yeah, I'm disappointed sometimes if I get a piece that the timber isn't as um, structurally sound as I think it is. I'm getting a lot better with choosing that stuff, but still, you have hidden features. I don't want to call them imperfections, because they're not necessarily that, but hidden features in the wood, like you saw with the box that I have that has some splits in it. It's not ring shakes, or it's not along the lines of grain. It's just the wood has shifted. There's a lot of curl in that wood, and with the constant temperature change back and forth, it's kind of made some of those fissures in there, but they're not um, necessarily making it structurally unsound. But you can uncover stuff like that, ring shakes or whatever, turn it on a piece, and then the wood's going to fly apart, and there's nothing you can do. You might be working on a burl. I've had this happen to me. I've done some cherry burls where, the outside, you thump it and all that stuff. You take the bark off of it. Everything looks really groovy until you get into the center, and the whole center is nothing but white fungus. And I've had pieces just completely fly apart on the lathe, because once I broke through the hard wood and got into that fungus, then there was no more structural integrity. So it does happen. It happens to everybody. I mean, you look at people who are production turners, say, they never have an issue with their skew. Or yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. It still happens. It still happens. When you lose that focus, you can get that spiral catch on a piece, and oftentimes it's unrecoverable. And you gotta start again. So yeah, it happens to everybody. It just happens a lot less to people who practice regularly, who work at the lathe regularly. It doesn't happen as often. Still happens. Everybody makes mistakes, but don't let that mistake stop you. Don't let that mistake give you an indication that you're not ever going to make it or whatever. I hope that you allow those mistakes to become a springboard to learning how to not do that again, how to avoid that, how to mitigate it, whatever it takes, so that it doesn't stop you from exploring anything you want in the wood turning world, be that from turning pens and um, ice cream scoops and salt, pepper shakers, all that stuff, all to bowls, to sculptures. I mean, to whatever, architectural pieces, columns, and stuff like that. It's all the it's. I would love to say it's all the same. It's not all the same. The physics is different on the larger you get, but the principles are the same. And if you don't allow yourself to make mistakes, you're not allowing yourself to learn. That's how, I mean, I don't know. If I think about it, I mean, that's how I believe most human beings learn their best lessons is by making a mistake, right? Uh, if you don't, I get there. Another way to look at it is if you do nothing. Well, I've heard this too. If you do nothing, there's no way you can make a mistake. But isn't doing nothing a mistake? I don't know. I don't know. I just hope that watching Turning and you're part of this channel, that you get some inspiration, that you learn something maybe that you didn't learn before. At least you have a good time and you get to enjoy watching a piece come to fruition. I certainly do. So, having said all of that, thank you again for joining me this evening. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope you stay friendly, and I hope to see you again. I stream every Tuesday, Wednesday night, 8 to 11. Clearly, I'm ending a little early night, but I've explained all that. Don't need to go over that again. But normally, 8 to 11, Tuesday, Wednesday nights. I'm thinking about adding another night, maybe two. I'm not sure yet. I'm still working out the logistics of all that, and I definitely would like to get more stuff with the beekeeping on this channel too. But this channel is primarily wood turning, instruction, education, fun, that kind of stuff, right? So I hope to see you next Tuesday or Wednesday, or at least in the near future. If you haven't seen any past broadcasts, if you want to go to my YouTube channel, it's YouTube at Dave_Rife. In fact, I'll just put that in the chat right now. Of course, I got to click on the chat box so I can actually type it. YouTube.com/.